everyone, welcome to another episode of In the Kitchen with Sandy. And on today's episode, I'm really excited to share with you my recipe for my Thanksgiving turkey. This is exactly the way that I cook my turkey on Thanksgiving, and it's always a big hit. I mean, I get all kinds of raves and how juicy and tender and delicious, and it's really, really good. And I wanted to share this recipe with you. And it's not really just a recipe, it's a method of cooking. I promise you, no fail every time, and it's so simple, so easy, just a few ingredients. The first thing that you want to do is preheat your oven to 350, and what we have here is a turkey. I've already cleaned the turkey and pulled out the giblets and everything, and you want to make sure that you don't go by the package directions where it says lay it out like 48 hours before you cook it, because if you do, this turkey's going to wreak havoc on your life. You're going to think it's out to destroy you because it's still going to be frozen, and you're going to want to toss it out the back door, because there's nothing more frustrating than trying to clean a turkey that is still partially frozen. Yeah, it gets me every time. But this is like a 14-pound turkey, a little bit over 14 pounds. And we're gonna cook this in the oven for about maybe 4.5 hours, depending on if you stuff it. Now, if you stuff it, it's gonna take a little bit longer. But today, I'm not stuffing this turkey. Sometimes I like to put some of my dry dressing mix inside there, just a little bit of it, because as it's cooked. So we've got our turkey all nice and cleaned, and it's ready to go. And in here, I love to use, one of my favorite things to use for my turkey is the fresh herbs. And in here I've got rosemary and thyme, and in here I have just a little bit of the poultry seasoning. This has not only rosemary and thyme in it, but it also has sage and a few other ingredients, and it just goes well with the turkey. I got a few extra little pieces here that I did not chop up. You know, I just took them out and just kind of chopped them up real good. But these I'm just going to stuff right inside the cavity of the turkey, because as it cooks, you know, everything's going to go up, and it's just going to keep infusing. And I have butter here, softened butter. This is unsalted butter, and I've got it softened. You do not want to melt it in the microwave completely, because you're not going to be able to do the process that I'm about to show you. And then here we have some chicken stock, and here I've got some of the bouillon cubes. I like to use these a little extra because, you know, we all know that the chicken stock doesn't have a whole lot of chicken flavor to it. So I like to infuse it with a little bit more. It makes your gravy and your stuffing, if you like to use the broth from the chicken or from the turkey to make your stuffing and gravy with it, it just makes it so much more rich flavor. And then in here we have just some salt and pepper, and these right here are the innards. This is what I pulled out of the turkey, and you know what I like to do with these is I like to put them on the stove and boil them on top of the stove while I'm roasting or cooking my turkey. I add a little bit of butter in with this, and a little bit of seasonings, and this makes for a great, once it boils down and reduces, it makes awesome flavorings to go inside your dressing. You use that broth, and because it's so rich with flavor, it's so delicious. And you want some good foil, you know, heavy duty foil, and I have my turkey pan right here ready to go. Love it. And of course, you have to have your coffee or bourbon or beer, whatever you want to have, but I gotta have a sip. All this talking gets my mouth so dry. Okay, what we're gonna do is you're gonna take your butter, and we're gonna put the majority of it in here, because like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and cook my innards on the top of the stove. Some people put them in their dressing, but I don't. I'm gonna leave a nice little chunk there for the innards of it. And you're not gonna take all of it, but you're gonna take most of it and sprinkle in there. And you can find the full written recipe at In the Kitchen with Sandy at blogspot.com. It's already there waiting on you. Sprinkle that right in there, and same with this. You're not going to use every bit of it. You're just going to use some of it, because we're going to save some. Now, the best way to do this, my hands are clean, is to mix it around with your hands. There's no other way to do it. So, and you just you're going to infuse the butter with all that goodness there. Oh, and it smells amazing already. Okay, what you're going to do, I've got this perfectly combined together. You are going to take your turkey and you are going to strip the membranes. Sounds like we're having a baby here. You're just going to start taking your finger and just kind of stripping the membranes on the breast there. It's not difficult. It is not difficult. You just run your finger up through it and you're just going to keep stripping it. Now this one might be a little bit more difficult for me because my Thanksgiving turkey is much, much bigger than this. And I can get my whole hand up in there. But there's just like a little thin layer up in there. I don't know if you can see it, but you just want to keep running your fingers along it. And see, keep getting further back there and further back there. Until you've got it all the way stripped, just about all the way to the back. This is perfect. Look, I've got this all the way. I've managed to get my hand all the way down in there and strip the top of the membrane there. So what you're going to do next is you're going to take your butter mixture and you're going to just put it in there. It's kind of oddly looking. Trust me when I say it just kind of looks alien-like, but it's amazing. You've got to trust me on this. And you're just going to continue to stuff this up in there, stuff your butter up in there, just kind of smash it down, and it's just going to melt right over that breast while it's baking. And notice I've got this foil lined, and I've let the foil overlap quite a bit because I'm going to drape it right over there. And you just take your big old turkey. Put it right in there. Okay, now I'm going to wash up and then we're going to proceed. Okay, I've got Tom the turkey inside my roasting pan. Now, what we're going to do next is these little sprigs that I saved of my fresh rosemary and thyme. We're just going to go right in there. Just going to stuff them right in there because, again, they're going to infuse up into that turkey, and it's going to be amazing. Okay, now what you're going to do is, some people buy string, there's turkey string to wrap the legs in. I don't. Or not the turkey string, the roasting string. I just take some foil and just roll it up. If you want to buy the roasting string then that you tie up your meat with, you go right ahead. This is what I've done for many, many years, and it works perfectly. Now you want to make sure that you tie the legs together. Put that down in there. You don't want this little booger running off. So you just place it right in there and tuck the part of the overlapping skin there down in there. Just tuck that right in there. And make sure you get both the legs. Oh my goodness. Got that one tight down there. Okay. And then you're just going to take your foil, give it just a nice tug, and just wrap it around. That's all you do. And that's going to keep your legs together, and that's just going to help with even cooking, and they're not going to spread apart. And he's not going to run away and all that good stuff. So he is ready to start the seasoning process. Perfect. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add our chicken stock. We're just going to add it into the pan. And I like a lot of broth. And he is going to produce his own juices. Gosh, it smells amazing already. Pour that right in there. And then you're going to take your cubes, okay, and you just pop it right in there. And then you're going to take your dry seasonings and you're going to go right over top with them. Right over top. Look at that beautiful baby. Go ahead and put some down the chicken stock. It's going to fall down there anyway because you're going to want to baste this bird. I know that they say self-basting, but I I have never cooked a turkey and not basted it. You have to baste it. Okay, and then some more of your poultry seasoning. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Can't wait to eat this thing. Just go ahead and sprinkle that right on top. Hell, let's just pour the whole damn thing on there. All right, perfect. And then you're going to take some salt right on top. Liberally. And then just put quite a bit of pepper right on top. Love pepper on top. And I would love if this thing worked properly. And that's it. That's all you do. Now, what you're going to do now is you are going to take your foil and you're going to wrap it right in there. And if it's not enough, go ahead and get you another sheet and wrap it right over there. Because this is kind of going to steam a little bit. It's going to cook evenly in there, but all this, when it heats up, it's just going to steam right through that meat and make it absolutely amazing. You're going to have to trust me on this. Okay, now this turkey is ready for the oven. I've got it preheated to 350, so it's going to go in for about 4.5 hours, and you need to baste it about every 30 minutes. Take it in there, and just by basting, you just take some of the broth and just pour it right over the top of the chicken breast, or the turkey breast. And this is going to be delicious. I can't wait to show you what it looks like. About the last hour of baking, we're going to take the foil, open the foil up so it can get some color to it. I never worried about getting the big golden brown color because it's more important to me what the meat tastes like. But we're going to go ahead and brown it, so let's get it in the oven and get it started, and then I'll show you what it looks like when we're ready. Okay, while my turkey is in the oven, cooking to perfection, like I said, these are the innards. I like to just pour them in the bowl. I've already rinsed them off. Pop that butter in there, your remaining piece of your butter. You gotta throw a dish around. You gotta get that dish thrown over there. A little bit of salt and some pepper. And then you want to add your remaining bouillon cubes. Now, I know I didn't learn. Pop those right in there, and these are going to this is going to reduce, and it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful stock. Now, if you don't want to use this in your dressing or to make your gravy with, you can freeze this. Do whatever you want to do with it. Or if you don't even want to do this process, you don't have to. I do it every year because I like to use that stock. Love to use it. It's just so amazing. We're going to put some foil on top of this, and we're going to put it on the back of the stove, and we're just going to bring it to a simmer and let it simmer just for about an hour, hour and a half until the meat's completely done. And I'll show you what the stock looks like. It's going to be so rich, so tasty. I'll have to show you. And I want to show you what I was talking about. I want you to look at this. Take it off here a little bit. Look at that. Look at that wonderful, delicious, rich broth that you can use for your gravy. Now, this is not done cooking yet. It's been cooking a little bit over an hour. I'm going to cook it more so the meat will fall off it and be tender. But look at that. Look how beautiful that is. That is going to make for some amazing gravy. Or like I said, you can put this right over to moisten your stuffing, your dressing. We're going to continue to baste our turkey, and I'll show you what it's like when we get closer to pulling it out. That's it. Okay, we're good. Alright, my turkey is done. I want you to look at it. Look how golden brown it is, and it's beautiful. Look at the juice pocket there. It's perfect. Now, this baked at 350 for about 4.5 hours. You want to make sure that you don't over bake it or it'll be dry. All those seasonings on top of there. Look at that. You can see where the rosemary and the thyme's all encrusted up in there under this this nice crispy crust.
Mine's fogged up.
I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to go ahead and start carving it. Look at that. It just goes right in there. It's fork tender. Look at that. Let's just go. I'm not very good at carving. I need an electric knife. Look how beautiful that is. Just fall apart. Fall apart. It's gorgeous. Can you see that? Get a look at that. Let's cut a little bit more of it so you can get in depth of how beautiful that turkey is. Look at that. Beautiful. Alright, now, because I am no good at waiting, look at that. Look at that. Look how juicy that is. And it just pulls right apart. And it's still hot, but I don't care, so I'm going to take a bite. And just shove the whole thing right in there. It's so good. So full of juice. You gotta try this. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Show me some love. Give me a thumbs up. Share all my videos. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And I'll see you next time. Bye. That's so good.